Morning, everybody. Great day to be a Longhorn, man. February 23rd. It's going to be 80-something degrees today in Austin. So it's a pretty good day. Obviously, a big week for us. Last 2 weeks are kind of unique and different, playing, like we've had to play with off weeks and 2 games back to back. And this is different as well. So trying to get our kids focused. We've been on that Wednesday, Saturday, Sunday, Wednesday, Saturday schedule, and all of a sudden you go, I think we're going to go 3 weeks in a row where we don't have a midweek. So a little unique. I know the guys do it a lot. We don't. And so we took, did we play Sunday? I don't even know what we did. I think we took Monday off, went Tuesday, yesterday, had a good day. We'll go again in today, and then get ready to head to Norman tomorrow for a 1 o'clock tip on Saturday. Really good team, playing really well. Coach Bronchick's doing a heck of a job with them, and I liken them to us in that how hard they play offensively. Like, they really play hard offensively. They cut hard, they screen hard. They just go really, really hard on that end. It's why they're so good. I mean, they're averaging 90 points a game. And, 3 of their top 12 scores in the history of Oklahoma women's basketball are on that team. 3 of the top 12. They're the oldest team in the country, I believe. They've got 6-year seniors, 5th-year seniors, seniors, and they've got what is equivalent to me of Roger Maris and Mickey Mantle. They got 2 kids neck and neck. I think they're at 3 and 4 on their all-time scoring list, and they're right there neck and neck. They're in the middle of a race within themselves to see who can win that scoring title and or achieve that scoring rank within the program history in Robertson and Williams. So, Lanusa, I think, is 12th, and she's been hurt so much, or she'd probably be up there with them or maybe past them. I mean, she's so offensive minded as well, and such an elite player. And so we'll have our hands full on Saturday. They, I think their big kid inside is way different. She's playing at a very high level. The way they attack you is just really, really challenging from our perspective, defensively. And if you got to be on your best when you play them, because Scott can get you at the 5. If you're not paying attention, Van can get you at the 4 or 5 when they go small. We all know what I call the big 3 are, and then you've got Navia just running the show for them, along with the veteran that they have, Kennedy Tucker. So, I mean, they've got a lot of really good players and offensive players that you can't help off of. They're averaging 10 threes a game, 90 points, y'all. They're averaging 90 a game in their last 5. 90. So we got a huge, huge task in front of us. And we're going to have to match their intensity and energy from the tip. We can't get off to a 22-11 hole like we did at Iowa State. When the lights come on and we jump it up, we got to be ready to go. And we've got to do what we do at Texas well. And then we've got to try to manage what they do at Oklahoma a little bit. I don't think you stop them completely. I think you're trying to manage them a little bit and keep the damage to a minimum. And then you've got to do your part and take care of your end. So it's a big challenge. I mean, they're obviously playing way better than they did a month ago when they played here. They're on a big roll, and we've been playing okay. We'd won 7 in a row till we stubbed our toe up in names, but lots of people go up there and stub their toes. So we've got a big one on Saturday. We need to be ready.
We'll go ahead and take questions now. Danny, go ahead.
First off, Vic, I'm kind of wonder if Taylor and Maddie would completely understand that Roger and Roger Maris, Mickey Mantle comparison there. Maybe a little bit too young.
Probably not. Their parents probably would, but they don't.
First, is there a Sonya update? Was she able to practice this week? What do you expect from her?
Yeah, just again, it's day to day, and I think she's made some progress, but that's all. That's all I really have to offer is that she's making progress. She had, I think, what is today? Thursday. I think Tuesday she had, her best day so far. So that's really all I got on that.
And then bigger picture, obviously, I don't know if you want to think about this, but
I don't.
With first place on the line, how, I guess, important is this to this rivalry, this Texas OU rivalry, that this is such a big game at this point in the season with so much on the line?
Well, I think it's great that we both made it, this far on February 23rd. We're both in first place in the Big 12. The issue is we both got 3 games left, none of which are easy. We certainly have the harder road to hoe, so to speak. And so we've got, really 3 monsters left. And, you can't get comfortable or you'll get popped. And so, it's an important game, but I don't really want to put too much on it. It's one out of our last 3. There's lots of basketball left. Lots can happen, but I think certainly both teams know, where each other stands and, what we need to do to have an opportunity to win. And so we've got to, for me, it's again, managing that as well. I don't want to put too much emphasis on it because, as you know, we got to turn right back around and play on Monday night. And, we've got to just go one at a time. Our focus will be on Saturday, has been. And, Texas OU obviously means a lot, whether we were 0-15 at this point or 12-3, which is what we are. So it's important. And, but again, Danny, I don't know how many of my kids really understand the history of Texas OU. So that might be a good thing.
Bob, go ahead.
Nick, with just everything you've had to go through to get your team to this point, newcomers kind of meshing together, injuries, everything else, do you like where you are maturity wise to handle a moment like Saturday and then obviously everything that comes after it?
Pretty amazing, isn't it, Bob? I mean, when you think about everything this group's been through, it's pretty amazing. I'm so proud of them. They've really done a lot. And, yet I tell them all the time, this is why you chose to come to Texas, to win championships, to have a chance to be in the NCAA tournament, host a first and second round. All those things are still in play on February 23rd. Yet none of it's guaranteed. But at this date, this is where we're at, and they are in play. And so, it's really, really quite amazing. And so I'm proud of them. But we've got a lot left in front of us, and it's one day at a time in my mind. We've got so much going on in our program, from trying to get kids ready to play to recruiting. It's a full-time deal. There's so much to it. And so what was the rest of the question, Bob?
It was just, do you think they're mature enough to handle it?
Oh, yeah. Well, I think we've shown flashes of maturity. It's part of that consistency thing that I'm looking for with this group. I just don't think we're real consistent. And I don't think we're real consistent in leadership, which is part of maturity. And so, we've that's a work in progress. But I think as my potential leaders, get older, I think that's when you'll really see some good leadership in a mature team. And so, I think we have certain players that are trying to lead by example and trying to lead in ball games by their performance. But there's so much more to leadership than that. We'll give you all a great story this week, and I haven't done anything on Twitter about it, but I will. But saw a great example. I've been doing this a long time, y'all. But Rory, she has an NIL deal with Beats, and she got all her teammates a set of burnt orange Beats this week. And that's leadership in my mind. That's servant leadership. That's taking care of your teammates. You hear about quarterbacks getting Rolex watches for those offensive linemen and things like that. And this is, obviously a different scale, but still comparable in a lot of ways. And man, just so proud of her. I mean, not only did she get them for her teammates, she got them for all the coaches too. And so, to me, that's a step. That's a step in the right direction from, quite frankly, the position that needs to do it. And as I tell Rory all the time, she gets more criticism, she gets more praise, she's more accountable than anybody on the team because of the position she plays. If you don't want the criticism, you don't want the responsibility of making sure everybody knows what they're doing and when they're doing it, where they're supposed to be, then play the two. But she isn't a two guard. She's a point guard. So that's the responsibility that comes with it. And I just was really proud that she would think to do that. And it was really a special moment. And her teammates were so appreciative and so excited about that, and rightfully so.
And then just on the 10K for 10K, I know yesterday you had the Papa shot.
Thanks for the coverage last night on TV. Appreciate you.
Were you a Papa shot guy?
I mean, I'll do it. I'm not ate up with it apparently like you guys are. I'm not hitting every town trying to find one, but I'll do it. But I do appreciate the coverage last night.
Let's go to Roger.
Vic, has Rory asked you to walk out on Lloyd Noble with those burnt orange Beats when you go out on Saturday?
No. No, we're not going to do that.
On another note, the way you guys beat them, you kind of took away what they do best, and that's scoring. Knowing you got to go there, what happened? I mean, how do you prepare for knowing that you're probably not going to hold them to 58 again?
Yeah, Roger, thanks for reminding me of that. Yeah, and you're right. It'll take a monumental effort to keep them, down. I mean, think about it, y'all. 90 points a game. Golly, that's crazy. And so we're going to have to really play well. And they just do it so many different ways. They attack you so many different ways. I mean, there's not enough time in the week, and I have had a week, literally Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, to get ready for a game on Saturday, and to put your kids through every, situation. And we'll go through every situation they'll possibly run at us, but you got to rely on your fundamentals defensively. And then offensively, I think, we scored 78. We did some things that we attacked them in some ways. I think we had some success with. So I'm sure they'll be different. They'll guard us differently than before, and that'll be okay. We'll be ready for that, but we got to go function. The thing you have to do is you got to get quality shots on the road, and you got to get some really quality defensive possessions. Whether they score or not is not the deal. You got to get a quality defensive possessions. quality defensive possession. And so I think that's the key, one of the keys. We've got several, but anytime you go on the road, guys, it's defense, rebounding, and inside game. That's always a secret to success on the road. And you've got to be able to function in that manner.
Lindsay?
Can you just talk a little bit about the chemistry that this team has and their relationship with each other and how that's helped win games?
Well, they certainly have a great relationship within each other. I think my locker room is, they really enjoy each other. They cut up with each other. They have a lot of fun together. And so, I think that always helps in ball games. They're a pretty tight group. And, I appreciate that about this group. We don't have a lot of selfishness in there. We've got a lot of selfless people that take care of each other. And, it's a good group. And anytime you have that, that always will translate, it translates in a ball game. So that's really helped, I think, certainly with this group, having so many new players, 6 new players to add to a group that's now, our two kids that were coming back off last year's team, we're down to one of those with Amo hurt and out. So it's been a good group.
Danny?
But going back to Rory, just her assist numbers are starting to reach kind of rarefied territory, especially in school history. I think there's been 3 years where there's been a player with averaging at least 7 assists, and Rory would be the 4th. Could you speak to just kind of what she's been able to accomplish just because of the injuries she's had to deal with her teammates, the newness of a lot of these teammates? I guess Shay's really the only one she's played with that's still healthy. Could you just kind of talk a little bit about how she's been able to direct this team and be a point guard with all those factors?
Yeah, she's what is she, Danny? She's 7-3 assist to turnover ratio in conference. And when you go back over the last 5, she's 6-2. So, she knows she's got to get those turnovers down a little bit. And most of the time, those turnovers is just because she's trying so hard. But I think back, the thing I think back to, Danny, is we scored 105 or 107 points in our exhibition game against DePaul. She scored 3 points. So, if she's defending, rebounding, and finding her teammates, like that's when we're really at our best. Certainly she's capable and has been scoring for us, but in conference play, we've got 3 players shooting 33% or better from 3. We've got 3 players shooting 50% or better from 2. In our last 5, we've got 4, 5, 6. We got 7 kids shooting 50% or better, or a guard shooting 45% or better, which is what I think those guards need to shoot. And you've got 2 kids shooting in the 40s from 3. So, she's got some really good weapons around her, and just need, her what she brings to the table from a reading the floor perspective, a defensive perspective. I mean, how much ground she can cover. Her intelligence, basketball wise and defensively, especially for such a young player. She's starting to talk more, especially when we're going through scouts. So, she's an impactful kid. And obviously we missed her dearly early in the year. And, but here lately she's playing at a really high level. And when she's running our team like we need to be ran, we're really hard to guard and we're really hard to score against. And so, our guard play here lately, our last, few games has been really good. Other than we were real passive at Iowa State. But other than that, our guard play has been really, really good. We're shooting the ball well. Kids are in the gym spending time. And you know what? When you invest in the game, you get rewarded. As y'all have heard me say, the game's real easy. I mean, the game is really honest with you. You know, you get out of the game what you put into it. So it's a real fair game.
I misspoke earlier. Obviously, Deanna is obviously a returner for y'all. But
Yeah.
your two freshmen, Amina and Jock, how are they kind of at this point of the season? Because I know everyone likes to say at this point of the season they're not freshmen anymore, but just kind of how is their development gone?
Yeah, I think Jock's obviously made some big improvement here lately. You know, she's playing much better for us. I think she's gaining confidence. She's understanding what's needed and what she can do, and then maybe not trying to do too much. Typical freshman thinks she's going to stay on the floor if she's scoring, versus come off the bench, bring energy, defend, rebound, don't turn the ball over. If you do that coming off the bench, you're probably going to stay on the floor. Versus come in and every time you touch it, you want to shoot it, and you're 0 for 10, and that ain't it. So, you know, Amina is come down a little bit in her efficiency and contribution somewhat, but that's competition's picked up. You know, competition's way better now than it was back during the season. So, but as I've told her, you know, her calling card needs to be how hard she plays, her toughness, her physical presence, and the ability to defend multiple positions. I think she brings so much to the table. It's really, really incredible. She's still getting, you know, over 2 offensive rebounds a game, 4 a game. That number was much higher during the season. You know, over the course of the entire season, she's averaging 5 rebounds a game and 2 offensive. So she's, you know, she had 6 offensive rebounds at Iowa State. The problem was she couldn't put anything back in. And again, a lot of that has to do with size and athleticism, length of the defense is preventing you from doing that. But I think part of it too is just focus and concentration that's necessary to have. And when you're young, sometimes you don't have that.
Bob?
I just wanted to ask one more on the 10K for 10K because we're obviously not gonna be able to make the trip to Norman, unfortunately. You've talked about the crowds since you got here and what you thought they could be.
Yep.
How impressed are you with how far that has come? And, you know, because it's not, you know, OU is obviously you've had some great crowds this year. It's not just the 10K for 10K anymore. It's really, you're starting to get the crowds I think you expected you could get here.
Yeah, for sure, Bob. And again, last year I did it for I did it for a reason. I wanted those 3 seniors to go out with a bang. This time last year, I was put out with how poorly we were drawing and disappointed, quite frankly. And, you know, we had over 12,000 for the senior night, which was so special to send those 3 seniors out that way. And so this year, again, want to send our seniors out the right way, but also what we were able to do last year for the Neighborhood Longhorn program is just so special. To me, it's what makes Texas so special. And so wanted to have that opportunity to do it again. We're already up to 60,000. We have 5 other people that have matched my donation. Now we've only sold 7,500 tickets, I think. And so we got to get to 10,000 or we're not going to write a check. But we've got some really, special people that have jumped on board and have pledged to match my offer of 10,000. I'm trying to get the names for you here because I think it's Dr. Howard Nurkin, who's a big booster here. Side note, his dad was my pediatrician. It's crazy, isn't it? Small world. Sam Raya has done it. Niall Maxwell has matched it. Dr. Cunningham, former president here, and then CDC. jumped in. So we've got 60,000, and then you guys need to stay tuned today, because I think there's going to be an announcement. We may have a pretty significant donor with a pretty significant number to come in also. So really, really special, just really special, and for a great cause, for to help make an impact in our community, y'all. I mean, we're reaching out to young people and hopefully providing them an opportunity somewhere down the line to help them in college. It's just a really, really special opportunity for all of us to be a part of. And again, make an impact in our community and young people's lives. No better way in my mind. That's our future, right? Those are our leaders, our future leaders, our future generations. They're the ones that are going to take care of what we're trying to take care of now. And so super proud to be a part of it. I'm proud that it's worked out the way it has. And again, we need people in seats. We need butts in seats. We need tickets bought. I want people standing on the rail upstairs. We got to get that place sold out. I'd love to have to go to CDC and tell him to raise the door, but I don't think that's going to happen. But I'd at least like to ask. But we need 10,000 in there. That's the deal. 10,000, and we're all going to be 10,000 lighter in the checkbook.
Anybody else? Awesome. Thanks everybody for jumping on. Thanks, Coach.
Hey, appreciate everybody. Thank you so much for your time. Y'all have a great day. Praise the Lord and hook 'em horns.